So, hello and welcome everybody. Thanks for coming to the Kaplan Business School Alumni Vodcast. This is our Alumni Association's online streaming community, and it's recorded as well. So the rules of the game are we have a 20-minute vodcast, and in the first half, it's sort of like a set structure interview with one of our guests. It could be an alumni or an industry guest. And in the second half, it's more freeform. So you can ask questions. There'll be a survey too. And usually we have them every Wednesday. Tonight we've got a special podcast and a really great guest. So here we have alumni leader Grace Jimenez. She'll be interviewing Javier Contreras, a software engineer who graduated from KBS in 2018. So how's it going, Grace?
Very good, very excited to starting our first podcast and having Javier as a guest today, and very excited to start. So am I allowed to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure.
Interviewing Javier? Okay,
Yeah.
Good.
Go for
Javier,
it.
how are you tonight?
I'm pretty good, Grace. How are you?
Very good, very excited. So the first question that I have for you, I want to ask you, how was your journey of finding a job after you graduated, after you finished your studies at Kaplan Business School?
Well, it wasn't really difficult, maybe because I'm in the IT industry. The IT industry for the last, I would say, 10, 15 years has been growing a lot. So there is always demand for people for this industry. So it wasn't really hard for me to find a job when I came to Australia. When I came to Australia, it was pretty easy to find a job, even when I didn't have the communication skill to get it. But pretty much that was the only barrier I found in here when I came here to Australia.
Wow, and then how did you come along with that barrier? Like, if you found a job in your industry, in the area, even when you have some difficulties with the communication in English, that's pretty plausible. That's very good. That's very good on you.
Yeah, I would say I got the skills on interviews. Maybe it's because of a lot of practice. Initially, when I was starting my career, it wasn't as easy as it is now to find a job, and this is because I usually I go to interviews even if I don't need a job. Usually, they just call me to just talk about my experience, those kind of things, and I always say, even when recruiters call me to figure out if I have a job or not, I just say I'm open to opportunities. I just want to know how the market is and what is the opportunity, because you can always improve. So even if the interview is not to get a job, for me, in my case, in the IT industry, usually you talk to people that has a lot of skills, and usually happens that they are asking me questions that I really don't know, and that helped me in the sense of I can just go home and research about whatever we were talking about in the interview. So that helped me with my training. So yeah, I would say I've been training myself to talk comfortable with people about my career, my experience, those kind of things. So it's not a problem. It's not a problem at all to get used to talk about IT stuff.
Yeah, that's very good. That's very good on you. And that is a very good advice that many of us can take to prepare for future jobs, because we never know when we want to, if somebody is going to let us go in a company, or if we want to move on and find something else, so we don't have to start from scratch. So that's very good from you. And I appreciate that you're sharing that.
Something that I will say is that it is important for people to understand that for example, in the IT industry, it's really hard for one person to have all the skills the company needs, but usually what they appreciate is the attitude. So sometimes even a smile help you in an interview. So and that's something that I learned in my journey. At the beginning, I wasn't successful, so I kind of understand, because I have gone to tons of interviews. I really understand what kind of things works and which one doesn't. So it's kind of practicing and just trying to do your best every time you go to an interview.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Very good on you. Thank you for sharing
No, no
that.
worries.
So I want to ask you the question, the COVID-19 question, of course. During these rough times, I want to know, how do you feel about the current situation with COVID-19, and how is affecting former international students or graduates like you, like me, that we now have the rights to work full-time, but and it's different than the situation of a student that they're only able to work part-time. So how has been the situation for you, Javier?
Look, it was kind of hard. These 2 months have been really tough, in the sense of I just started a new job in the travel industry, and 2 months and a half ago, everything was just fine. And like 1 month ago, 1 month and a half ago, everything started crashing down. And being in this company made me realize how the balance of the economy, or even your security job security, can be affected. It was kind of critical like 1 month ago, in the sense of Australia closed the border, so the flights overseas were just overseas, and even locally are kind of canceled for everyone. So now the rule is just stay at home and don't travel. That affect the industry when I'm working at the moment pretty bad. What they did at the beginning, well, they were really honest with everyone. They just say, hey, we are going to do horrible things this week, because we have to pretty much stay on business. So it was a business decision just to be on the game as long as they can. So in my case, for being in the IT department, 50% of the people just in Sydney got redundant. On other departments were between 70 and 60% redundant. So it was kind of tough. I thought, well, because I just started, you usually, when you start, you don't have enough understanding about what the business is about, and even the experience within the company affects the decision of the business to keep you or don't have you with them. So luckily, or maybe it was that I've been doing a very good job. So my boss just told me, my boss told me, well, you have proved during these 2 months that we really need you, and we are going to keep you. So it was kind of a relief to know that that I will stay on the team. So far, me personally, I haven't been affected, because I still work full time from home. But yeah, I'm kind of lucky in that sense.
Yeah, well, more than lucky, I want to say that I'm very sure that you're very good at your job and very good at what you're doing.
Thanks.
And that should be the reason for which your company decided to keep you. Congratulations on that.
Yes. I know how it has been tough for a lot of people, but yeah, it's kind of what you say.
Yeah, well, the thing now is that you are here and you are sharing with us, and you have all these great stories to tell us. And so you are in a very interesting situation, because you are like working on IT, and that's like as well one of the reasons why you are able to keep your job. But as well, you are working in the tourism, in the tourist industry, which tourism has been one of the most affected. And on the other hand, the IT industry has been one of the ones that have helped us the most to go with this situation that we're having, like having this kind of like meetings, online meetings or podcasts that help everyone. So how do you feel that the current situation will impact the industry in the future. Have you thought about any of that?
Yeah, well, I would say everyone is learning from this case. I would say countries that weren't prepared for these kind of things have been through the process of they have to change simple things like getting things for the medical industry, for example, masks, those kind of things that usually are imported from Asia. So I would say maybe some countries are going to try to bring some industry locally, so that for them just to being able to tackle these kind of things. And I would say this will kind of help the situation at the moment in USA, that they were running out of insumes for the medical people. So that will kind of affect some countries. And in the travel industry, I will say, yeah, maybe this is going to we are going to get over this situation maybe like in a year, but I couldn't say how much it's going to take and if we are going to recover 100% from this. but look, everything is an opportunity, and at this point, the travel industry and the tourism industry has been really affected, but researchers and everything that is regarding medicine and those kind of things are being like an industry that is needed for these kind of occasions. So that will be like an opportunity for other fields to grow. And in the IT industry has been growing and it hasn't stopped at all, but I would say it will be the IT industry will be another one that people could kind of try to relate if they want to learn about it. It's just up to them if they want to get trained in a specific field to just work with the IT industry. But I wouldn't say it's really complicated at this time, because I would say if you really want to learn something, everything is just on internet. You have Google, you have YouTube, but you can even learn just by reading.
Yeah, taking from that, that idea that everyone can learn and that there are lots of resources available online, I would like to hear from you if you have any suggestions, any more suggestions, or more detail for the people that are finding themselves in difficult situations right now, and suggestions either for graduates or for international students.
Yeah.
What would you suggest?
Look, usually what you have to do at the moment is just stay at home, but that doesn't mean that you have to just be at home watching TV. So you have to be productive for yourself. You have to realize that you have to be productive for the society. You have to learn a new skill that the society needs. You can use this time to study English, to study something related with IT, something that you wanted to learn. So if you want to do a career change and you are in the design industry and you want to start cooking, you can try to train yourself to be a chef at home. So, or you can do anything you would like to do. So the only thing that you have to be is trained, and usually what you need is just time, dedication. So it is a matter of having just the interest to learn something, and then after a while of being doing the same, you can just put it on your CV. You know how to do designs on computers, or you know how to program a system on the web, or whatever. But it's just a matter of try to have the mindset of being productive. So what should I learn? What something that interests you. Pretty much is that.
Yeah, that's very good. That's very good advice. Thank you for sharing all those tips and insights. And I saw that there is a question from the audience that from Gita, that she's in that she's not in the situation like you are, like very lucky of keeping your job, and she had lost the job. So I think the tips that you share have been good for her as well. So thank you, Gita, and I hope your answer has been respond. If not, please let me know, and I will ask more to Javier. And so the next thing that we have prepared for you are some polls, and Kieran is going to help us to display the polls to all of us so we can answer some questions.
All right, now, yeah, I'd like to share a poll, and it's about how we sort of relate to each other. We want to collect information about our community that's watching. So I'm sending you a poll now. Can everyone see that? Yeah?
Yes.
So everybody gets to answer except me, but go ahead and type there. Do you relate to Javier's experience that he's talked about? Is your industry affected by COVID-19? And we want to know how many graduates or members of the public we have here this evening. Okay, so for now, I'm going to close up the poll now. And if you see from our results, we've actually got an audience that really relates, right?
Yes.
And students and graduates here tonight, other people who have had effects from Javier. I think, Javier, it's really great that you've shared this. Do you have anything to say, Grace?
No, I mean, I think that what Javier has shared with us, it's a great spirit, and I understand, and I know in some people that might be going through difficult times and have maybe lost their jobs, or maybe have to go back to the countries or something. Yeah, not under that situation. But I think that Javier has shared with us some very good tips, some good insights that we can all use, like do something productive with our times, and that's very good for all of us.
I think it's important, though, that we sort of, as a community, work to make this a successful event, because it's coming in place of the in-person networking events that we've had. Thanks a lot to everybody for coming, and to Javier and Grace especially. We are going to try and continue all of these vodcasts. We want to continue them after they finish, to have a networking aspect. So make sure, if you have a question that wasn't asked, go ahead and post it on our LinkedIn page. We have a LinkedIn group, Kaplan Business School Alumni Association. And that's one way that we can sort of get the networking aspect that we really liked about our in-person events. Again, this will be happening every Wednesday, and next Wednesday at 6 p.m. we have Lee Coleman, the recruitment manager of Kaplan, going to talk with us about what's happening with corporate recruitment. So again, thanks for coming. Javier, thanks very much.
No worries.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks for having me.